I'm going to share with you 5 cold weather camper tips that actually worked. I've camped in -40, -50 degrees in Antarctica, Greenland, and on high, cold, snowy mountains in the Rockies and the Sierra, and I'm going to give you 5 tips that will actually make a huge difference. Tip number 1, store your gear in your sleeping bag. Anything that can freeze, that you need to turn on, the water, everything. It's going to feel like you're sleeping in a garbage dump. Not the smell, but just like you're surfing and stuff, because whatever you need in the morning, especially that water, you're going to need to prevent it from freezing by sleeping with your headlamp and whatever electronics you might need. Maybe you need to keep your camera going. Keep it in your sleeping bag. You might put it at your feet. A lot of times I put stuff I need at my side or in between my legs. That can make a big difference, because in the next day, when things are frozen, it's -20 degrees Fahrenheit or -28 degrees Celsius. And then, oh, this doesn't turn on. Oh, my water bottle's frozen. Oh, I can't get this whatever open. Or, oh, my headlamp died because it's sitting there and I didn't use lithium batteries. Instead, I used alkaline or rechargeable. Ooh, that's a problem. I don't want to have that happen to you, because it's an easy mistake to make. The temptation is not to put stuff in there, but I've done it and I regret it every time. Now I just sleep in the pile of stuff. Number 2, this is an unexpected one. Do not underestimate the downhill sections of your trek wherever you're going. If you're on the flatlands in the northern woods, there's no downhill. Perfect, you're set. But the thing about going downhill is you need to adjust the tightness of your boots. You need to adjust your poles, your ski poles, your trekking poles, whatever you might need. And those are the real challenging parts, because going uphill, it's a grinder. I know, muscles, thigh burn, whatever. But going downhill is actually the place you're far more likely to get injured than going uphill, because as you're going uphill, you're putting power into it. You can claw into the landscape. I've slipped going uphill, but face plant, boom, no big deal. But going downhill, all of a sudden I'm going downhill on the Devil Slide Trail in Grand Teton National Park. My feet broke loose and Tip number 3, learn basic knots with mittens on. I cannot emphasize this enough, of learn how to tie knots with your gloves on or even your mittens, because you will sooner or later run into a circumstance that you need to tie a knot for your tent, for your gear. Maybe you need to lash something down, and taking off your gloves can be a frostbite sort of experience. So learn to tie them. If you can learn to tie them behind your back with gloves on, you'll be pretty good. And you say, Aaron, that sounds dumb. Believe me, when you're blasting wind and snow and you can't see anything and you need to tie a knot, your ability to do that blind behind your back will translate, because now you've got that knot so cold, it makes all the difference in the world. Speaking of knowing how to do everything in tough conditions, check out my book, The Motivated Amateur's Guide to Winter Camping. It shares everything I've learned over decades of camping in winter conditions, so that you too can enjoy your experience in the outdoors. Number 4, if at all possible, make sure to choose sheltered rest stops when you're winter camping. Even if it's behind a snow embankment, behind a tree, behind a cliff, whatever, make sure to do that, because over time, when you're trekking in cold weather, it's not just the cold that gets in you, it's the psychological game that starts to wear you down. I've so many times I've been out in polar climates. Okay, you're out in the wind blast and it just kind of sucks. But I've been towing my sled, 40 mile an hour, 55, 60 kilometer winds are hitting me. I've literally snuggled behind my sled just to get out of the wind. I think, wow, there's no wind. I pick up my head. Yeah, just super crazy. So I cannot emphasize enough, pick a sheltered area, even if you have to hide behind your backpack to get out of the wind, because that will suck your heat out, Convection will just drain the heat out of you, but also the psychological wear and tear I cannot emphasize enough. And tip number 5, make sure to warm up before you get into your sleeping bag, if at all possible. If you're outside and you've shoveled and you're done, maybe you had to go pee or whatever, do some jumping jacks, flap around. I know it's irritating to do this, especially at night, but it will make a big difference if you get into your sleeping bag warm and comfortable. Even if you're on your back and you're in a tent in a storm, pick up your legs and do some bicycles. Just do it for a minute or two till your legs are like, ooh, wow, I feel that. That will get the blood flowing, that will warm you up, and that will keep you warmer at night and you'll sleep better. Yes, it'll take a few minutes for your system to chill out from the increased blood flow, but that heat that you generate when you get in the bag versus getting into a cold bag when you're fatigued and tired, I've done it, I've made the mistake. Don't you too make the mistake. Warm yourself up, it'll make all the difference. Thank you very much for watching. Please check out links below in the description in the pinned comments.